Hello, fellow hard-working Americans. Our training today is going to cover a very important topic: unions.
Okay, I can do this. Here at Red Houses, we don't need a union. We like having direct communication with all our employees, and our competitive compensation and benefits mean we just don't need a third party coming in and telling us how to do business. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to report this interaction to my manager.
Sound familiar? This is just one of the many practiced responses managers and company representatives give when the topic of unions comes up. But what exactly is a union? And why do companies make training videos just like these to explain why they don't want one in their workplace? Labor unions in the United States are organizations that represent workers in many industries recognized under U.S. labor law since the 1935 enactment of the National Labor Relations Act. Unions began to form in the United States in the mid-1800s and were a response to the social and economic shifts brought about by the Industrial Revolution. Since their beginnings, labor unions have accomplished a lot that we sometimes take for granted. In 1870, the average work week for most Americans was 61 hours, almost double what most Americans work now. Yet in the late 19th century and the 20th century, labor unions engaged in massive strikes in order to demand shorter work weeks so that Americans could be home with their loved ones instead of constantly toiling for their employers with no leisure time. By 1937, these labor actions created enough political momentum to pass the Fair Labor Standards Act, which helped create a federal framework for a shorter work week that included room for leisure time. For most of our history, there were no federal regulations on child labor. In 1832, New England unions first took a strong stand against children working, marking the beginning of a century-long, union-led fight to end child labor. In 1938, this union-led fight resulted in the first federal regulation of child labor, which ensured that when kids did work, the work would be safe and wouldn't interfere with schooling. The health and safety of workers wasn't something a company needed to worry about at all until 1970, when several unions worked together with elected representatives to pass the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1970, which established what we know of today as OSHA. So, why do companies spend so much time having you watch training videos about why you don't need a union and/or why they don't want a union representing their workforce? It comes down to two things that go hand in hand: money and power. Union members have better job safety protections and better paid leave than non-union workers. Companies can't get away with low pay when their workforce is organized and negotiates for higher wages. In fact, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reports non-union workers earn just 85% of what unionized workers earn. $1,029 per week versus $1,216 a week. That's a difference of $9,724 over the course of a year. When a company's executives can keep wages low by confusing workers about the benefits of unions, they are able to push more profit to shareholders and stock buybacks. The executives then score huge bonuses, some reaching millions of dollars. And this is why companies spend millions of dollars on training videos that warn against unionizing. It allows them to keep more money and power in the hands of a select few people at the top. This video covered some very dense topics that deserve extra time and attention. If you're tired of your labor making others rich while you toil for a non-living wage, check out other videos on this channel. Together, we can start to build a better world for working Americans, where our work has meaning, enriches our lives, and creates a better future for our family, friends, neighbors, and communities.